thought I'd just introduce myself before we get into the topic of this video. My name is Decklan Rolle. I am currently a second year at the University of King's College. I am a journalism student, and currently I am a comms intern for Dal Health, and I'm doing it through the King's Fellowship Program. And now that I just kind of introduced myself, I figured I'd talk about what is it you're about to watch here. And what you're about to watch is basically we communicate with a bunch of Dal Health students, and we kind of ask them certain questions about like how it feels to be back on campus, to be able to self-isolate, obviously, and continue doing their work. And, it's just a really interesting topic that I feel is just to be discussed. And I really hope you enjoy the video, and I guess you really hope you enjoy the responses that you get to hear. So, how does it feel to be back on campus?
It's exciting. Yeah. I guess it's something that's almost normal in a situation that has been very uncertain. So, it is really, really good to be back. It's just a bit different.
I agree. It's definitely a change, but it's really nice to see everybody, even with masks.
Yeah.
It's still nice to be around everybody. There's a lot of different protocols in place.
Yes.
We have to go in certain doors, line up socially distanced, go in the building socially distanced. When we're actually participating in lab inside, we're also socially distanced. We are all also in learning bubbles, so we see the same 8 people for the entire semester, and we see the same instructor as well.
It is wonderful to be back on campus. The students are so appreciative to be back, and we are, as faculty, we're appreciative to be back because it is a clinical program. We want to keep them moving in their educational journey to practice. So there's things that we have to do face to face in order to prepare them. So we're so happy that we are back in a protected manner, back in the lab.
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit weird. So all of our classes are online. The only time we're on campus is for labs. So our program is pretty close, I'd say. There's only about 65 people in it. And last year we had all of our classes together. So it's definitely a little bit weird not being able to see all those familiar faces anymore and just kind of have to get used to being online, and that's what's really difficult.
Well, it's a bit bizarre for sure. Not being on campus regularly and having all of my classes be remotely and virtual is definitely different than previous years. So it's a little bit strange, but it's also a bit exciting. It's a little bit challenging, but in kind of a good and fun way where we get to learn new things. And so far I've just been really impressed with students and their willingness to engage online, and their flexibility and resiliency is really impressive so far.
There's a lot of really close interaction that we need to train for. So it means wearing masks, and not just, it's making sure that we have all the protocol for cleaning and mask wearing and everything that we need to keep students safe. And it's training them for practice. That's what they'll have to do in practice as well.
Yeah. With the physical, how's online going? What have you guys been doing with online? You've been doing discussion boards to kind of keep everybody together, kind of give ideas. Because I know discussion boards are a big thing this year.
Yeah.
Most classes can't come back.
We have a wide range of things. We have discussion boards, we have synchronous, we have asynchronous, and then we have the face-to-face labs. So we're hitting it all.
I was really worried. I guess my biggest fear going into the semester was about how I would still connect with students. I think that that's really an important part of my teaching philosophy, and I was really nervous about it going into the semester that I wouldn't be able to connect with them, especially in my first year course. So I posted a discussion announcement quite early on asking them to just introduce themselves and how they like to learn and why health promotion and all of that good stuff. And before I knew it, it had kind of exploded into this beautiful interaction where people were sharing where they're from and how they grew up, and pictures of their pets and their babies and their families and their working spaces. And it actually was so fantastic that I think I'll continue it even if and when we get to move back to the classroom, because it was so much better than that kind of in class where you say, hey, I'm Becky, and that's really all you get to have. So I actually really enjoyed it. It was nice.
We can't really see the rest of our classmates. So I know mine and Sarah's bubbles, ours are in the same room, so we get to see each other every Thursday when we come in. But we don't get to see the rest of our classmates. We see everyone lined up when we come into the building, but that's about it. And then we'll never get to see our classmates that come in the afternoon. So that's kind of sad that we don't really get to see anyone. Like, don't get to see everyone anymore, and we can't all be together. But like, I'm still very happy that we get to see some people.
What does a COVID pre-screening kind of look like? Just asking for people that aren't doing health, kind of wondering what that looks like.
Sure. It's on Brightspace. It's a questionnaire. It's yes or no questions. It'll just ask you, like, have you been out of the Atlantic province? Yes or no. Have you been outside Nova Scotia? Have you been in contact with any of those people? And also about, like, your symptoms if you have, more or less, of either of them.
Okay, that's every time you enter a lab.
Every time you have to pre-do it. No matter what, even if we have 2 labs a day, we have to do it for each class.
So like morning and afternoon, we'll have to do a pre-screening. But it does seem like everyone's taking like the necessary precautions to keep us all safe, especially with labs and the lab bubbles. So we talked about this a bit before, but all of our labs are in the same groups. We're in, what is it, 9?
Yeah.
9 people per lab bubble. So we're only ever with those 9 people when we're in the forest building. So that kind of just brings down the risk a little bit because you're only ever around 8 other people. So that's a really good, I think that was a good precaution. And it also was an unexpected benefit because it's a little bit more hands-on now. We have 1 instructor for 9 people rather than like 3 instructors for 60 people. So it's, I mean, I find that a positive of all of this. We made like buddy groups. So usually we're able to like meet in person with our first years, but this year we did all like online orientation with them. So there's like 3 second years with like about 3 or 4 first years.
Yeah.
So they did like Zoom calls and discussed some tips and tricks of online learning and just physio school in general.
I think in these times with so many things with unrest in many domains, I think the ability to be flexible and thoughtful and ability to expect change and be able to adapt to that change are skills that the students are not only having to develop, or they're shining because they have that adaptability. So I think there's strengths on to be learned and to be drawn from students as